Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are here. Let's let the team in.
What up, though?
Tube, what up? Happy Monday. Recording is now in progress for those who are not in the know. It is the 24th of January, 2022 is the year. Blessings and salutations to everybody. Hopefully everybody is safe and healthy and watching this from a place that is quiet and conducive for learning. That shall happen today. Everybody had their seatbelts on today, I'm sure. It was a wide range of emotions. A lot of text messages were coming through early on today. And by the end of the day, everybody could breathe again.
What up? What up? What up? My life was never easy.
We here.
Let's get into this, man.
Let's let Donnie in.
Market Mondays, cultural phenomenon, greatest show on earth. Best investment show ever created.
Keyword is ever.
All of the above. All of the above, man.
We still running up them numbers.
Absolutely.
Shout out to everybody that's liked, subscribed, and left a comment. We appreciate that wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. Continue to do so.
Yes. What's going on? What's going on, brother? Got the cardigan.
Okay.
Happy Monday. Troy, you glowing? Shy, you looking glorious?
Yes.
You looking like you ready for the reboot of The Next Man or something.
They only
TA, what we doing? Give my boy a film.
They only take me serious when I have glasses
That's
on.
it.
So,
they don't listen to him any other time.
I gotta put the spectacles on.
Red Panda family, what's up? Ernest, what's up?
What's going on?
That's a nice sweater. I actually have a sweater that is very similar to that.
Warm. You look very warm.
I'm gonna post a throwback.
A little cozy, a little meditative. I was about to bring out the Negan leather jacket, but I was like, namaste. Now is the time to help.
Shout out to
I
Negan.
do not fear. I do
is he
not
still
worry.
on the show?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's not as powerful as he once was. That's why the Iron Fist thing does not work.
Okay, got you.
Who's that? What's that?
Negan from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
I don't know how that show is so popular. I watched it a few times. I'm like, yo,
that show was weird. I watched it a few times years ago. It was
I can't do this.
It's a great show about leadership. Great show about leadership. The balance of being too regimented, too tough, like Negan, Shane. You can't be too soft. How Rick, you have to be in balance of the middle. And the euphemism is, are we the human beings, the Walking Dead, or is the ones infected by the virus the ones that are the actual Walking Dead? So there's some great life and business lessons in there as well. If you get to the first 3 seasons, that's all you need. Everything after that was trash.
3 seasons?
Yeah. AMC, I love you guys. Love you guys.
By the way.
Yeah, by the way. So I don't want to ruin nothing.
Yeah, I just started watching Euphoria the other night. Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yo, man. I'm about to I just hold my daughter tight.
Parents, watch. You need to watch.
Crazy. Shout out Drizzy's Drake's one of the executives on that. So shout out to Drake. And shout out to Zendaya. She's incredible in that.
Shout out to young Drake. Drizzy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Market Monday. This is a highly anticipated episode. I'm sure cryptocurrency is crashing. Stock market, crazy day, crash and then rebound. Fears of inflation, fears of a slowing economy, fears of Russia invading the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fears all over the place. People are nervous. People are losing money. People are panicking. People don't know what to do.
If you didn't listen, you're losing money.
Well,
lesson number 1, don't chase the highs. Write this down. I'm hella gems tonight. Don't buy anything 3% from the high. Wait. For those of you who waited, you are smooth sailing right now.
Patience.
Yep.
Patience, very, very important. So I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to get into this. I just make some brief announcements. Big week for Earn Your Leisure. We have dope episode coming out tomorrow. Shout out to Miss Diddy. Miss Diddy is a fixture in LA. She runs the party scene, the event planning scene, the brand partnership scene, like anything to do with anything. Miss Diddy's got her hands in. She knows everybody. She's like a real boss in this game. Brand marketing specialist, extraordinaire,
ambassador of the city.
Yes. So we chopped it up with her and have a dope conversation. She's a real boss. So that's coming out tomorrow at 8:00. And then Wednesday, We have open enrollment on YouTube, and that will be with Miss Business. That's the follow-up to the episode. That's going to be how to start and run a business. So she's going to be going over a lot of questions after the last episode of how to start a business. So she'll be going through a follow-up, and then it'll be question and answers as well. So all women, all month. We had Miss Business a few weeks ago. We had Nikki last week.
Fire episode too.
Appreciate that.
Classic.
We have Miss Miss Diddy tomorrow and Miss Business again on Wednesday. So yeah, all women, all month. And that wasn't even done by design, but it just so happened that that's just how, the content came. So,
Yeah.
Can I be honest about last week's episode?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nikki on the content side is me, episode 70.
Okay.
I can't wait for y'all to sleep on that. Look at 2 years. And then Shotty, you see all them questions Shotty was asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, Nick, that was
don't sleep.
That was one of them. That was one of them.
I'll call Nikki right after. Hey, meeting. I requested the meeting. Go watch the episode 3 times. Classic. Should go triple. If not, I'm gonna go diamond with it.
Yeah. And shout out to her. Shout out to the whole team. They sent over some paintings.
Shout out to Nikki.
We'll display those probably later. I'm sure that they'll end up on a story or something.
Yeah, very.
But shout out to Nikki and Moose over there. Appreciate y'all.
Very classy. Very classy.
Yeah, well done.
And shout out to everybody that was in Atlanta. We hung out in Atlanta. Shout out to my boy Matty J. Showed us a good time.
Man, I know you had a good time.
Man, he got the best energy ever.
Yeah.
Man.
Shout out to Spice House.
Shout out to Spice House. Shout out to my boy T.I.
Tip,
who was doing stand-up comedy. And did you know that?
I don't know. I'm not surprised. Tip funny as hell.
Yeah, he's doing stand-up comedy. So he invited us to his stand-up show. And it was really good, talented. 45 minutes. He was up there for
45?
45. Yeah, he was a show closer.
45 minutes. That's not easy.
Dad Joke King comedy special coming soon. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. 45 is tough.
Nah, it's very, very difficult. So shout out to T.I. Who else was we hanging out this week? And shout out to Kira. She was hanging out with us. Shout out to Alex, Good Energy.
Luke Tuck pulled up on
Luke
us.
Tucker. Shout out to the whole Atlanta family. Breakfast at Barney's, my man Rashad. So yes, great week.
Oh, Lawrence was there.
Shout out to Lawrence.
Shout out to Lawrence. He pulled up and had some bread with us.
Atlanta's always a vibe, man.
Troy. Shout out to y'all new studio.
Yes.
Wow.
Before we go any further.
Troy, can you send me that list, please, after the show?
Oh, absolutely,
graciously
man. We're sitting here like, we about to revamp some things here in New York. But shout out to Mike, who was a visionary behind.
Shout out, Mike.
Yeah, man. He drew that up in his head, and to watch it come to fruition is incredible. So I'm happy that we got to, actually utilize the space, man, because it's been there waiting for us, and we definitely took advantage of it over the week. So we got some fire episodes on the way.
EYL South. Reinvest in your business. Extremely important. All right, Troy.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Well, we got to talk about our good folks at Ally first.
Let's see the background.
See that purple, man. You know that purple. Shout out to all the earners. Shout out to all the Red Panda family. We want to let y'all know about a great choice if you're looking to bank or invest. Ally is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service, innovative financial solutions, and are relentlessly focused on doing it right for both customers and our communities. Get with Ally so that you can save, invest, and spend on the things that matter most to you. For everything you need, we're all better off with an Ally. Shout out to the good folks over there. Shout out to our UM team. Shout out to Eden and John and Ryan. We got some stuff on the way. Oh my gosh, we got some stuff on the way.
Shout out Ryan.
It's called separation.
Inclusion, my brother.
We drew the line.
Okay.
we drew the line. So they got
inclusive with family only. Gotcha.
What side you gonna stay on that line? So it's all love though. All right. So
disclaimer.
First and foremost, folks, do your own research. You know how this works. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take an independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. This is a message brought to you by the good brothers at Earn Your Leisure and the good brother Ian Dunlap, the master investor himself.
Yes.
Do your own
research. That disclaimer is extremely important, ladies and gentlemen. Extremely important.
Do your own research. Don't gamble. Don't buy the high. And I'm going to be real before we start, and then I'll do announcements real quick. Put yes in chat if your lives would have been a lot easier if you would have just did 2 tech, Apple, Microsoft, and 2 index, VOO, VTI. End of episode. Just kidding, Ally. But if you just stuck to the core 4, you wouldn't be bleeding as much. Put in chat, there's no reason to gamble when we have safety. Announcements real quick for Red Panda. If you want us to do the private trading room and make it open to you and show you how to make 10 grand and 40 grand in one trade, let me get some pandas in chat. Number 2, Stock Club call will be tonight at 9 p.m. Central, and then Trading After Dark will be back next Tuesday. I beg you again, please go watch the episode from last week that Troy, Rashad, and Nikki did. Classic, should have went triple. I hope y'all don't listen. So when I go drop Shotty off his 22 bottles, I got 40 pages of notes. Hey, telling you, one of those.
No, that's one of those.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. So let's get into this. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be extremely informative episode. We're going to go through everything that you guys probably have questions about. Personal I'm going to go through my personal investments. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. But before we start with the investment stuff, I want to just get some business tips out the way, just to give maximum value. So what are 3 marketing tips to double your business?
Y'all want to kick it off first and I go last?
On the marketing side?
Yeah.
Well, I think
give the ones that you should not make you keep going talking. Troy, give him a little elbow.
Nah,
I mean, honestly, I think the number one thing with marketing that helped us, and this is something that really changed our life, is the 2 principles I say all the time, but I don't think people get it enough, is consistency and originality. When you're building a business, you have to look at what your competitors are doing and do the complete opposite. And that's what we did, and that's what we still do to this day. So even now, like the next couple moves that we make is really going to confuse everybody. But that's done intentionally, because when you see everybody going in one direction, that's when it's time to, and it's the same thing with even investing, right? Like we'll talk about that later on, but never go with the crowd. And also consistency. Consistency is extremely underrated and it's extremely difficult. So, with the social media posting or even, YouTube content, podcast, the hardest thing to do is be consistent. If you every Monday at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna be here. No matter what. Troy had Corona, he was down. It was just me and Ian. We was in Africa. We did it in Nigeria. We did it in Egypt. We did it in Jamaica. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what happens, it would have to be a complete world stoppage.
Power. Loss of power everywhere.
So consistency is extremely important as far as, building your business and relationships. That's my last one, is relationships. And that's really one of the keys to actually getting rich. And that's something that we really championed early on with Earn Your Leisure, is that we never made it about us. We highlighted other entrepreneurs. We highlighted other people that was doing their thing. Market Mondays is a perfect example of that collaboration. As opposed to me and Troy trying to do every single thing ourselves. We're working with highly qualified, great people, and their success is our success. So as they grow, we grow, and vice versa. And that's really the blueprint to get rich if you really want to, know how to actually scale. And that's something that people don't do because they don't know how to work together. They have too much pride, they have too much ego, and they're too greedy and they're too selfish.
That's solid.
Yeah,
that's 3. I'll add a 4, and Ian, I'll throw it to you. So I would just say,
I want you to add 3.
Yeah, we'll keep it because it's coming. I mean, consistency is obviously the one that separates everything, right? Most people don't even know what it is to be consistent. They can't do something repetitively for 7 days, let alone 3 years. And so consistency is number 1, but value is probably, I put that right up there with it. Like, what value are you going to add, right? Like most people go into business and they think of a dollar amount. And I think that's kind of the wrong way to approach it. I think you should go into it with a value amount. How much value can you add? How much impact can you add to somebody's life? What are you changing about the way somebody moves on a daily basis? Can you change the mindset based on the things that you're talking about? And so adding value and adding the level of impact to it, man, those 2 things together, right? Because if you're not, what's the point? Right? Like we can go watch somebody else. We can go find the information from somebody else, but there has to be a value add in anything you're doing. So that's my 1.5, because you already said consistency.
This man keeping all the secrets inside. I ain't mad. He's smart. Very smart. My 3, number 1, please write this down. Figure out the one thing that you can be the best in the world at. So let me ask you a question. If Off-Whites were available, the same design, but on ProKids, would you guys pay that price for them? The difference between a top tier brand is understanding what you can create that no one else in the world can do. The reason why a lot of people, businesses don't do well is because they have not selected the one area in which they can dominate and others cannot. That's number one. Number two, this is key. The ratio of people that you help for free will determine how much money you make on the back end. So if you have a business, I don't care what it is, put your business in chat. You need to figure out how to at least help 1,000 people for free. I know everyone keeps saying, when are you going to launch the hedge fund? Right? The real value proposition is in helping so much that the governments, countries, dignitaries throw the money at me from helping you guys. So I know I used to fight this. You want me to give my intellectual property away for free? But people get to learn to trust you. You guys have seen me through good when I've gone off on the Negan jacket, when I've been down, when I'm happy, when I meditated and got my little tight sweaters on, right? A person gets to see your personality. And like they talked about consistency, they get to see you show up every week. So if anyone ever thought about partnering with me, they know at least every Monday they're going to be able to catch me live, right? So for every small business, you need to figure out how you can take your product or service and help them for free, and you'll be good. And then on the social media side, people are going to tell you that I'm wrong. Trust me, it helped. Shout out to those in 2020 when I used to go on my tweet storms forever, right? And drop 30 posts in a day, post 7 times a day. 7. People's attention spans are so low, and those posts have to help them. So give them one tip. I'm always mindful. They're always mindful of giving one tip to help you. If you can do that, you'll be great. So number one, figure out what you can be best in the world at. Number 2, figure out a large ratio of people that you can help for free. And number 3, on social media, post 7 times a day. And if I've made you money, put yes in chat. And if they made you money, put yes in chat, because their marketing advice is fire.
Don't that part.
All right, let's get into this. So I told you this is going to be a crazy episode. 8,500 people want to check in the first 15 minutes. Record.
What up?
That's a record. That's a record within itself. So shout out to YouTube. Hit the like button. I promise you, this is going to be a gym.
Please share.
So we're not going to play no games with this. All right. So stock market. Let's get into this. Are we in a bubble? Are we in a stock market bubble?
Yes. Told you guys last year when everybody was chasing options and now they're chasing NFTs. Please put this in chat. You do not want to chase it a high. I'm going to give you guys the percentages later. But when the market is so high that everything is going up, and last year, please go watch the original episodes with all the slides. I said, what was the number one indicator that I put that was most important for my day ones that have been here on Market Mondays? And when I say quantitative easing will stop, the market is going to be different. And here we are. Nothing that moves that at high of a rate lasts forever. And we haven't had a crash technically yet. We're just coming down to the levels on which we are. So we are resetting a little bit. There's nothing to worry about. If you've been investing every month, definitely since 2020, you're good. For those of you, if you're getting beat up right now, this is a great time. And I always say this, decide one person that you're going to follow. Because if you follow 5, it's not going to work. You can only listen to one master, and hopefully you listen to the master investor. But on top of that, you need laser focus and stop chasing these highs. Turn off the news, do your own research. I'm here to help you. But are we in a bubble? A small one, but we're just correcting to the levels, and we're in the areas where we should be. Yeah.
So if anybody's not familiar what happened today in the stock market, the Dow Jones at one point was down 1,100 points. Mm-hmm. It was a bloodbath that was happening. NASDAQ was down heavy.
600 points.
S&P was down heavy. But Netflix was down $45 at one point today. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, a miracle happened.
But I thought all debt was good. People kill me. Write this down. You want to invest in businesses that are not bleeding money because of the debt ratio. The original Ozark is out. I'm gonna probably burn through it in 3 days. It's not the best model. So you want to make sure that your businesses that you are co-owners of don't have a lot of debt on the table. I love the Netflix model, but to go from 799 to then be at 387.15, that's not fun. I'll give you guys and I'll say this now, just write it down. At least mark off when things hit an all-time high, mark off 50%. You want to put half of your cash there. Netflix got to 700 and you guys buying at 648 because some guy on IG told you. Now, when you message him, he will not reply to you, let alone give you money.
But that's kind of what we said.
Yeah,
that's what we spoke about last week when we were just like, yo, finding your buying points, right? And so, like, if you do that, if you just say like, all right, what was that 700? Let's see where the 50-point marker is, and let's mark it off there, and have that number written down. Like, literally, I have these numbers written down. So while everybody's texting, everybody's panicking, I'm locked in because I'm just waiting for it to hit my number. I don't want it to miss my number. Like, I saw that happen today with Microsoft. I'm like, oh wait, I saw the 200. My 200 EMA was 296. I saw it go down to 296. I said, okay, let me see how far it goes. Got down to 277. I can't wait. I got to do that now. I don't have time to text. I mean, so like I already had these numbers marked in, and that's what we're talking about. Know where you're going to buy in at. And do we load it there? No. We're going to taper this in. We're going to put money in. We're going to buy shares. We're going to buy ETFs, right? We don't have to do options right now, right? We can make puts, but we don't have to, right? We can add equity shares right now. So,
and
all these things are possible.
Let's just take a brief intermission break. I just want to just give my personal, I have never done this before, but I just want to give my personal, like what I actually did today in the last couple of days.
You was moving today?
Yeah, I've been making moves.
Okay.
So how I look at it is this. Before I tell you what I'm personally invested in, I want to just give my philosophy on it. If you study boxing, you know, the number one rule of boxing is to protect yourself at all times. And one thing that, you know, Conor McGregor said when he fought Floyd Mayweather was at the end of the fight, he said that, you know, Floyd wasn't really that strong. You know, Floyd's not a power puncher. He's not really that strong. He said Floyd wasn't really that fast. He's older, so he lost some speed. He said, but he's composed. That was, I don't think a lot of people really fully appreciated that comment. Composure is more than anything. Composure actually can beat speed, power, all of that. He said he's composed. So I say that to say my number 2 rules of investing is to protect yourself at all times and stay composed. And I learned from people that have a lot more money than me. Mark Cuban, you know, when he spoke to us and he told us that you have to protect. Once you have money, you have to protect it. And Humble, when he said, you only have to get rich once.
Shout out to Humble, yeah.
So I'm a defensive investor. I've been a bear my whole life, not just in investing. I'm just a bear, period. I'm always a pessimist in everything. That's just how, you know, my brain works. So I'm only really have like 5 stocks on my watch list right now. Apple, XLK, XLY, Microsoft, QQQ, SPY, VTI. I guess that's actually 6. So how I looked at it was like Apple is 182, was their high was 182, they're 159 around that time. So it's like 12% off. I personally think that Apple, I'm not comfortable buying right now. For Apple, I think it could probably get lower in like the 140 ranges. So I waited on that. XLK, 15% off of his high. It wasn't a bad buying, I don't think, but I'm already kind of heavily weighted in tech, so I didn't jump on that. XLY is interesting. I wanted to up my position at XLY for a long time. XLY, we talked about that. The reason why I like XLY is that it does have tech exposure in it, but it has other companies that's not just technology companies. It has Starbucks, it has Lowe's, it has Home Depot, and so you know when I saw it at 18% off of its all-time high, I thought that was a good time to actually add some money in. Microsoft, a company that I wanted to actually add I wanted to have an add on my position for Microsoft for a long time. I've been waiting for Microsoft for a very long period of time. When you see a company like Microsoft almost down 20% from its all-time high in the 280 range, I think you have to start to put some money in. Now, like Troy said, you don't necessarily have to load the whole boat, but you know, I definitely put some money in. It's not something that, you know, if it goes lower, I'm not going to be mad at it. Like, you know, when you look at something almost $60 off of its all-time high, a company like Microsoft, it's an opportunity to start adding to your position. So I added to Microsoft. QQQ is another one that, you know, I have a strong position in, but I just didn't feel comfortable putting money in QQQ right now because, you know, I already have a lot of tech. I just kind of went over that. SPY and VTI, I've been putting money in those. And that's for diversification standpoint. That's more of a safe bet. You really can't go wrong with that. It's not really a time for me to put money into option contracts right now because I feel how I look at the options is that I have a substantial amount of money in options right now. If things go right, I'll make a lot of money. If things go wrong, I won't. It won't like
I ain't
kill
gonna let
me.
you lose no money.
It won't kill me.
Yeah,
but it's not. You can't be greedy. Can't be greedy. So if it bottoms out and it goes lower and it gets a position where I feel like, it's a no-brainer. If Apple goes to like 140, then, I might look at some long-term option calls close to the money long-term. Once again, me personally, and I can only speak about my personal philosophy and where I'm at in life. Yeah. If I was younger and I needed to make a lot more money on investments, I might take more risk, but I don't necessarily need that right now. And preservation of capital is extremely important for me. So this is my thought process. Like if I can get 60, 70, 100%, I'm okay with that. I don't necessarily need to get 1,000% because you start to look at the risk reward ratio.
Sure. Yeah.
And once you start to understand how money works, if I can turn over, 100%, on an ongoing basis, that's a lot of money down the line. Yeah. So that's why the options, I'm not really rushing into option contracts right now. But like I said, if keep some money on the sidelines, if there's an opportunity that, I just can't miss, then I'm gonna go full-fledged with a couple. But I'm only looking at those. And then one other thing before I finish, the reason why I'm only looking at those that I just named is, once again, safety first. Yes. Zoom is down 63%, almost at 52-week low.
Zoom is dead. Don't touch it.
But let me just finish. So people might get tempted with that. People might get tempted with Netflix. You could always potentially make more money on a more riskier play. But once again, it's the risk reward ratio. I rather go with something that I'm not going to lose money on. Like the number one rule to invest in is don't lose. Yep. So everybody's risk appetite is different. But I'm not in investing to lose money. I'm in investing to actually make money, preserve the money that I've already made. So my risk reward ratio in my brain is to say, okay, Zoom could potentially, if it just goes up crazy, I could make a lot of money, but it's also a very high risk situation right now. I would rather go with something that I know is going to, stand the test of time. And it's just like sports. When you get down, you go with your star players. Like I played basketball my whole entire life. When you're down by 20, you don't put the seventh man off the bench in the game.
To help you recover. Yeah.
You put the star players in.
Yep.
You got to go with your core. When you down, you go with your core players that have been there, that's proven, that's going to get you to the victory. You don't bench Tom Brady in overtime.
Or cut Antonio Brown when they needed him yesterday.
When you need a slot receiver.
So that's my personal playbook. Yeah. That's some of the moves that I made today.
I feel compelled because I was busy. I feel I'll share a few then. Let's do that. So like you, again, obviously we have some similar investments, but over the past 3 weeks or so, obviously with the NASDAQ having a correction, I've decided to go more into having shares. And so I know one of the things I've been saying on Market Money's for the past 2 years is that we want to start our own club. We want to make it like the 40-40 of investing. And so I said, let's do 1,000 shares and 100 doors. And so I hope everybody's been still doing that. I got to my 1,000 shares at Apple.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So I got
in legendary. Apple. Clap it up for Troy.
Appreciate that.
For Troy
and shout out to Chuck. Shout out to Taylor, man. We had a great conversation. He's a young man from our neighborhood. And he's really diving into investment. And we had this whole conversation about Apple when it got up to 183. And I told him, just wait. I sent him the text message. I said, it's going to pull back. Let's look at it in that 150 to 155 range, just based on the percentages I was looking at. And it hit 155. And I sent him the text message right on time. And so I grabbed some shares at Apple today that got me to my 1,000. Microsoft, like I said, and it's crazy because Lawrence was on the chat today with the earners. And as he's talking about Microsoft, I'm actually purchasing it. And we looked at the same exact thing. And we had put in the 200 EMA. And we looked at how often does Microsoft trade below its 200 EMA, right? The last time it did it was exactly, And so when you look at it, if you look at its 200.
But it's 10,000 people on YouTube. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to everybody on YouTube.
Somebody might not know what the EMA is. What's the EMA?
So it's the estimated moving average. So over the 200-day span.
Exponential.
So the last time it was March 23rd, 2020. So this is right during the pandemic, like the height of everything shutting down. And so that was the last time it did it. And it finally did it like on Friday. And I was like, all right, well, maybe it still has some to move down. And it actually did. It got down to 277. And so once it hit 277, I was like, oh yeah, got to grab some shares. So I grabbed some shares at that number. Yeah, a few shares, and look where it closed today, right at its 200, right at 296. So it got right back up to its 200-day moving average. So that was a great play. Facebook, another one that already have some option calls on it for out to 2024, like long-term leaps. But I saw the stock, the equity. I'm like, look, I want it under 300. It got down to 290. No brainer. If I loved it at 300, I have to love it at 290. And so I grabbed some shares there. And Nvidia, oh my
baby,
Nvidia. I had my price point under 219, and to see it go down to 211. Again, if I loved it at 219, of course I have to love it at 211. So I grabbed some shares there. I actually invested in was it VTI? I think I got some VTI shares. I added to the custodial account for the kids. And so this is what I'm saying. When people are very fearful, like they looked at the fear and greed index, right? That was one of those early episodes. And we were like, look at the fear and greed index. It'll tell you what the market's thinking. The fear and greed index is at 13 right now. Everybody's fearful. And we told you when people are fearful, that's when we see opportunities. And so these are some of the opportunities that I saw today and decided to act upon. I'm sure there'll be some tomorrow. But you gotta be active. You gotta know, like, this is a time, right? If you loved it at one number, you've got to love it at the next one.
I want to stress this really quick. Please write this down because this is a scholarship. VOO, VTI, Apple, Microsoft. If you choose to deviate, the losses will be a lot heavier. So I know some of you guys, but VOO, VTI, Apple, Microsoft. And one of the reasons I love Apple, if you go look at the top apps, Zoom, TikTok, Disney Plus, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snap, Messenger, Gmail, Cash App, Amazon, Netflix, Google Maps, DoorDash, they get a percentage of all those businesses. Why are you not invested in them? So you stick with the plan because all the money, going back to the marketing point, consistency. If you keep switching out positions, you're going to end up in a lot of trouble. For those you looking to do an option, do not do an option on Apple until it gets to 134.
Yeah, that's what I said. It has to be something. And
I guess one more. I had one more. So there was one more, and I had a limit order on it, and that was CrowdStrike. Because again, it had hit a number that I had liked.
52-week low.
Exactly. So it hit a number that I liked, and so I put the limit on. But the problem was when I put it in, I think it was like at 315. By the time the market had started to turn around. And so it started trending back up, and I'm like, oh, all right. So that's one that I'll have to look at tomorrow. But that's what it is, man. When these type of situations where there's a correction, especially in the NASDAQ, even in the S&P itself, get your point, get your target point, right, and stick with it. Well, y'all did all the work. Y'all waited for it to get to a number, and then it got to the number. It's like, wait, should I do it?
And one thing, shout out to Jada Kids. One thing that he said early on is focused on what I'm invested in. And that's something that I always remember that line for my whole entire life. I don't talk about a lot of stocks because I'm not invested in them. I'm not focused in them. I'm focused on what I'm invested in. So I never invested in Amazon. That's why I don't really talk about Amazon, but I want to ask you about Amazon.
Yeah.
I never invested in Disney. I never invested in a lot of these companies. That's why I don't talk about it. You don't need a lot of companies to get rich. You just need to focus on a few.
Yep.
I focused what I'm invested in. One last thing about these options. Once again, everybody's option strategy is different. Just be careful because like I said, I never lost money on a long-term close. I never lost money on a long-term in the money option or close to the money option.
Stop gambling. I know y'all want to chase 900%. Stop gambling.
You get out of the money, far out of the money, you could hurt yourself. And don't get fooled by social media. They say the average Black family's net worth is like $2,500, something like that. So my thing is this: if you're on social media and everybody's a market genius, they make
all
money
of a sudden. What was the post in 2015?
They make money on puts when the market goes down, short-term options. If everybody's making money, who's poor? If everybody's rich, who's poor?
And here's a quick test. Ask them how much they have, and then literally ask them, "Hey, send me some money." Shout out to everybody in Stock Club. I was supposed to get cash ups too. You guys have been sent cash apps. If you got them, put yes in chat. Ask them to send you some money. That's a real test to know. Everyone's talking. If you want to steal my entire strategy, go to Ian Dunlap Reveals the Hidden Secrets of Investing. Article I did, I think in 2016 or 17, rolling out. Take my entire shit. Let's see who's really winning. Because, man, same thing. Hey, Shawty, I was quiet today. Yo, I ain't see that many posts. No talk about hedging. Where was it at?
No, but that's out of love, though. But that's out of love, though. But it's actually it's actually out of love, because I know that's our culture. Even hip hop, you talk about things before you have it. That's always been part of our culture, like to speak things into existence. I respect that on a certain level, but sometimes
between that and lying, though.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta tell the truth. Just sometimes you gotta tell the truth. And like I said, if everybody's making money, who's losing money?
Listen, my dad's been doing construction probably since 91. If I wanted to, I can call him and take every tip from him and put it on social. I never do it, because those of you that actually do construction, when I say 2x4 instead of 4x4, you're gonna be like, he is a fucking fraud. Stay in your lane, master your craft, then all the riches are there. Because what I don't want you to do is what happened with Elizabeth the Theranos and other people who have destroyed their brand. You can jump out there too early, and once a flux of people don't trust you, no matter what business you go in, they'll never do business with you again.
But one thing, if you do believe in a company, you do have to start considering to put money when it reaches 52-week low. So there's two stocks that hit 52-week lows that I want to ask both of you guys about, that I'm sure people are interested in. The first one, Troy, Amazon.
Yeah, that
was your pick of the year. It hit its 52-week low. So what's the deal?
I'm still long on Amazon.
Did you put money in?
That's one of my plays for tomorrow. So it's funny you mentioned too. I had Disney. I bought a few shares of Disney when it got down to 130 today, and Amazon. So Amazon and Crowd were my next two that I was looking at. And I think that was it. That's it for me. Like I just told you the whole portfolio. That's it. Outside of SMH, XLY, XLK, the ones that I just spoke to you about, and Amazon and Crowd. That's it for me. But yeah, I'm still long on it. Obviously, this is, it's a correction for the entire tech space. But Amazon's too powerful. It's too powerful. And when they report, I think they're reporting about sometime next week, you're going to see, I think they're estimating $140 million quarter, which is unprecedented. I think it's the largest quarter in its history. And all the reasons we said at the end of last year, man, well, what they have coming for the year. We're only in January, y'all. Like we're 3 weeks into January. We're not even done with January. But Amazon's my long-term play. Like I said, I think it's gonna be my stock of the year. So I'm still good with that.
Too big to fail.
Too big to fail, man. And they're moving in. We'll get there. Because we'll talk about the metaverse. Yeah.
CrowdStrike, very, very that's very important. We'll talk about that later on, cybersecurity. But Ian, this is a question I'm sure everybody wants to know. Another stock that hit a 52-week low. Square. Square. What is the deal with Square?
I'll chime in on Amazon. 2634 is the area that I'm looking for on Amazon. It's very interesting, like the amount of hedge funds that are out of it because of the price is too high. So now that it's at 2,700 and some change, there's a lot more capital you can put to other things that are cheaper. Everyone tell me what prices have I called for Square as of recent. Square is going to do great, but you got to give it probably 6 to 7 months as they're making this transition to be okay. So if you got in 129 and below, you'll be fine. If you got in higher than that, I'll throw you guys a price out where you can average down and be good. Square will be fine, but it's one of those businesses where you have to give it some time while they're getting their team together. But in a year or two, they'll be A-okay. Everything is just coming off the highs, and now capital is repositioning. We even see it in crypto. Everyone's killing me. Ian doesn't know about crypto. I'm like, they are tied together. When all the big families and all the big hedge funds are invested in it as well, you're going to see when the market tanks. Because supposedly, crypto was supposed to act like the VIX and go to the upside, and we're not there. So Square be good, but you're going to have to give it, you have to be accurate, like 13, 14 months for it to see a great boom again. But yeah, they'll be fine.
Fine. What was the VIX got up to 35 today?
Let me go look.
Something like that. Yeah, another indicator.
Yeah.
Volatility in the market.
36 is change.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Peloton. Peloton.
Shout out to Mike.
Rest in peace to Peloton.
Over with.
So if you're not familiar with Peloton, this has been a story that has just been carrying on for weeks. Stock has been crashing. It just continues to just fall even further.
Did it go up? I think it went up today.
Today it went up.
Yeah.
But it's continued just to fall.
Yeah.
The Sex and the City thing where the guy died on the Peloton, and
rest in peace to Big.
Billions. I guess a guy had a heart attack on the Peloton. They actually released a statement and said that they didn't give authorization for their product to be used in billions. So it's just,
of course they wouldn't.
Yeah. So now there's pressure. Now there's pressure for the CEO to step down from a big investor that came in. There's pressure for CEO to step down. There's also pressure that they sell the company. Who is in consideration or rumors to buy Peloton? None other than Apple.
I spoke about this.
That'll be very interesting if that happens.
Yeah.
So, all right, Peloton. What are 5 mistakes that Peloton made, and what can we learn from this Peloton fiasco?
Yeah. Number one, selection of the wrong business. They are a hardware business that got into tech, not a tech business that also serves software. Fitness is probably, outside of Platinum Fitness, is probably one of the worst businesses to be in. Write this down. Any business that you are dependent on humans to consistently take action, you're going to lose in. Fitness is a horrible business. Number two, they didn't raise capital at the right time. So when they were at that peak, and last year when they were like at 170 or 140, they should have began raising capital and not been delusional and drunk the Kool-Aid of the cult thinking that they didn't need more money. Because now they're in a position they can't even service anything new to the audience, because I think they may only have 5 or 6 months of reserves in the company. That sucks. So when your capital outlays are that heavy and the subscriptions are not doing well, you're going to run into a danger zone. Number three, they misled the investors of the company about how much capital was needed before they gave out that $1 billion in equity. So anytime you have leadership that lies to the investor base, that's never a good thing. I get it. A ton of stocks went up in 2020. Zoom got caught up in it as well. Teladoc as well. But when you begin to lie to cover up the mistakes of the business, that's never a good sign. Number four, constant changing of price strategy. There's 2 models you can chase. You can be premium, which I prefer to do, or be low end. You can't play both sides, right? And then you have to understand, even when you have a subscription-based business, the best case scenario, you're going to lose 5% every month, no matter what. Worst case, you can lose 20 to 25%. So in 4 to 5 months, you can lose the majority of your base if they don't love you or the product. And then one of the biggest ones, lifestyle creep. They bought a 300,000 square foot office space in New York at the peak of the market. And then the CEO, and that's why I tell you guys about lifestyle creep, got a $55 million vacation home nearby. So as soon as things got popping, I'm not mad at it. Everyone wants, to the 80s babies, Gordon Gekko, now the Axelrod lifestyle, but that lifestyle creep into the business. As you grow, you have to keep those expenses low, just in case things turn bad, right? Yeah. So that's a big mistake. Whenever I see a lot of splurging in the business, and that's why I always go to, if we look at the crop of Indian CEOs, because of their humble beginnings and conditions, they come here, they rise, but they live a relatively low lifestyle. That's one of the things I love about Microsoft CEO. That culture has been embedded from his experience into the company. And as you've seen the turn in Microsoft. Number 6, just not knowing there wasn't enough demand for what they were offering and buying into the hype. And I think that the final mistake that they made was not pitching to sell to Apple, Google, or Disney last year. Because if you look in that space, stock was at 171. You're arguing at that point that they're more valuable than Square. Impossible. I feel bad for this company. I know they're going to try and take the company over from the CEO. I feel bad for him. But it's at 29.71. I'm telling you, do not touch Peloton unless they get a new CEO and new leadership under their possession. It is dead.
We said 5, but you gave 7. So I was just going to add, and you kind of said it. Because I was looking, man, like I've been to 34th and 7th, and I'm like, why does Peloton have a building here? It's like, it used to be a garage. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? But the thing about Peloton, and I have one, it was like, what's the competitive advantage?
None.
Right? Like, yeah, the bikes are cool, and yeah, the classes are cool, and yeah, some of the trainers are cool, but like NordicTrack can do the same thing.
Going back to the point we brought up earlier, what is the one thing, every business owner and future entrepreneur, write this down. What's the one thing that you can do that no one else can copy? For me, it's this crystal ball. You have to find that one thing.
And if you were watching the NFL like this weekend, I know a lot of people are, like, I saw more NordicTrack commercials than ever before. Because they know that competitor is taking a hurting right now. And so here comes NordicTrack with all of it. Another thing is, just like you said, outside of just selling the company, but strategic partnerships.
Yeah.
Like, You could have had a subscription with maybe a Planet Fitness or right. Yeah, you have.
You can't even play apps on there.
Yeah, that's
can't
true
play
too.
YouTube, Spotify, like nothing. Disney Plus.
There's no integration, right? There's
Yeah.
no strategic partnerships inside the machine. I know they try to upgrade the machines, but even that, the supply chain kind of hurt them too. So were they ready for this moment, right? Because when you order a bike, like even during the pandemic, when everybody was home, if you try to order a bike, it's going to take you like 2 months to get it, right? So the demand was there at the time. The supply wasn't ready. So when we talk about mistakes, are we ready for this moment?
Breaking news alert. I always have a sense of the
you called it yesterday, right?
I always have a sense. 12,000 people. We are teetering at the record. The record was 13,000 when Mark Cuban. This is officially the second biggest episode of all time. Mark Cuban was the first biggest, 13,000. So we are teetering. Hopefully we can get to 13,000 by the end of the night. That would be very, very dope. And we will give away a bunch of scholarships to UIL University.
And get ready to get your cash apps ready. Do I need to go get the jacket?
So hit the like button, please hit the like button. That helps out a lot. Hit the like button and share this video. So it's so many people in here. I just want to talk about something that is interesting. What we're using to actually communicate with people, what we have been using to communicate with people for over 2 years, is a company called Zoom. And Zoom went up crazy during the pandemic because everybody was home and the schools had to use Zoom and everybody was working remotely. Zoom currently 62% off of its all-time high. But it's interesting that you say it's dead, Ian. So why do you think Zoom is dead?
Going back. Okay, so look, I'm going to use your brain. So if I come to you and say, hey, there is a technology company in which we can video conference with everyone, but the current, let's say at that time, the price was $321. Your first question is going to be, who else is in the landscape? Now you can use Google, you can use FaceTime, other apps you can use. There is no real competitive advantage. And there's difference between like what happened in 2020 and 2021, or like early, everyone was chasing gains and we saw it. And it's the issue. And I'll do book of the night first, one up on Wall Street. The issue with active management, what Kathy did, is like actively trying to pick stocks that are going to win opposed to, let's say, passive, right? Because 2 Tech 2 index is a version of passive and active because Vanguard is like managing that, but on a quarterly or yearly basis. Zoom has no direct advantage. Then the top 4 hedge funds are not actively investing in them to keep them afloat. And because everything took off to the upside, they then went to the B and C players to push them up to not lose clients. It wasn't anything really that Zoom did. It was great for that time, but anyone, if you took your emotion out of it and you say, hey, is a video conferencing app worth $588 or $400? Everyone on earth would have said no. So great product, but there's a lot of things that could do better in terms of the product line, efficiency. We've had issues here. I get that as you scale, you're going to have that. But if Zoom died tomorrow, would it devastate our business and our lives? No. If Apple closed tomorrow, it would change the entire world. If Microsoft closed, it would change the entire world. If AMD and NVIDIA went out of business, the world will come to a gridlock. So I always ask myself, if my life was on the line and Xander's life was on the line, and this was my last dollar, would I put it into this company? You guys answer me in chat. Would Zoom be the one that you go to save you and your child's life? No. There's no competitive advantage. Great company. But like you said, when it's in the clutch, and I treat every investment like it's game 6, I get one shot. They're not Jordan. They're Dale Ellis. Shout out to Dale Ellis. I don't want to smoke if you got a crazy cousin.
Now you got the ratchet.
Yeah, but you have to understand the difference between A players, B and C. Say C company. Seen the same thing with Virgin Galactic. C player. Great initiative. C player. And great companies don't fall 50 and 70% off their highs, usually. You don't want to touch this one.
Yeah. And Microsoft Teams is just as efficient.
Microsoft Teams trash on the low. I love Microsoft, but Teams is trash.
Troy, I'm gonna So we're gonna go back to Microsoft, but before I just wanted to talk about CrowdStrike for a minute because you kind of breezed over that. But CrowdStrike is an interesting stock, and that's one of Wall Street Trapper's favorites. And cybersecurity is something that well, if anybody doesn't know what CrowdStrike is, it's a cybersecurity company. So cybersecurity is something that is very, very important. Is going to be even more important in the next decade. Which is why, a lot of people are bullish on CrowdStrike, but CrowdStrike has struggled. It's down $130 from its all-time high. So people are looking at different things. What made you invest? Like, what was your thought process in investing in CrowdStrike today?
Yeah. You just gave the reasons why. Obviously, the 52-week low. I didn't have any investment. Well, I had a Z-scale.
It's not at a 52-week low, but
close. Yeah. It was one of the reasons. And when Trap said it, ever since the moment he said it, I've watched this on my watch list just crank up and run. And I'm like, man, I missed my moment. And I was just patient with it. I did, like, again, I said Z-Scale was one of those things I was interested in. I did option call on that. But I really wanted to have some shares in a cybersecurity company. And if we're looking at the top of the list, cybersecurity companies, I was like, all right, well, here goes my chance. It hit my number. I said, all right, will it go any lower? It did. I grabbed some shares of it. So that was my whole mindset of it. Like, be patient. Wait for it. Here goes your number. You like it here. You don't have to load the boat. Like I said, I like to call it tapering investing. Like I'll put a little bit in it at this number. If it gets even lower, I'll put even more.
So give an example. Like you don't have to get the exact dollar amount, but give an example.
I mean, I did it with.
Unless you want to give the dollar amount.
I'll give the dollar amount for Microsoft. Can we do that? Because my CrowdStrike is my notes are on my table upstairs. So, like, for example, when we saw Microsoft run up to 350, right? I'm looking at this number. Okay, I have my moving averages there. I'm like, okay, if this thing, am I going to buy shares here? No, I'm not going to buy shares at the top. Obviously, we know just for the simple point that we don't buy high, right? We're going to sell, buy low and sell high. And so when I looked at it, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to wait to get my shares because, like, again, Apple was my 1,000 share. AMD is going to be one of my 1,000 share companies. I want Microsoft to be one of my 1,000 share companies. And so,
AMD.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there in a sec.
That's interesting.
I'm at 500 shares there. And so Microsoft is one of the next ones I want to have 1,000 shares of. So I'm looking at a time to get a price point. And so I had it at 296 because I looked at the 200-day moving average. I said, all right, if it gets on this level, I want to see if it bounces back. Will it bounce off its 200-day? Because some of these stocks you can watch and you can see it play off the line, whether it's the 100-day moving average or the 20-day or the 200. Like, that's my last result. I'm like, all right, if it gets to 200, which at 350 seems like, how can Microsoft pull back to 296? But here we go, 17% correction in the NASDAQ. Here it comes moving down. Okay, well, it hit the line and it trailed under it for a day. I said, okay, well, I have to find a point. Where's my point? Okay, I'm watching it 280. 280, I really liked it. When I saw it at 277, I actually had to pause my screen because Lawrence was talking. I said, all right, I got to focus on right now. I did it at that number, executed. And as soon as the day was over, I didn't look at it because I had to do some other things. But again, it went right back up to the line. So when we use the moving average as an indicator, like I like to, we can see it. Will it bounce off the line? Will it trail under the line? What happens when it gets to the line, right? Typically, when Microsoft hits that 200-day after it trails under, it trends back up.
Solid, yeah.
Do not buy high, ladies. And no matter how many times you say this, it's human nature. It's human nature. We see it with cryptocurrency. I want to talk about crypto. We see it with cryptocurrency. I saw it happen in 2017. I saw the same thing happen this year. People buy a high and they sell low. The reason being is what's called FOMO, fear of missing out. So when everybody's talking about something, everybody's showing how much money they made, you feel like you're the last person on earth and you want to take advantage of it. We saw it happen with Dogecoin, and you put money in at the high, and then the market starts to crash, and then you panic, and then psychologically you start to say a 50% loss is better than 100% loss. This thing can go to zero. Give me my money back. I changed my mind. You sell. And then it goes back up again. And this is a very detrimental cycle that most retail investors follow. And this is why most retail investors lose. Yeah. Investing is a losing game for most people. That's the part that nobody fully understands. Most people don't make money investing.
Because you guys don't hold long enough.
Yeah.
That's number one.
That's the second one. Like, I think that's the full sentence.
That's a key, but they take too much risk.
Yeah.
Yep. Two Tech 2 Index.
Do things off of emotion.
Mhm.
Don't hold long enough. Buy high, and they sell low.
Yeah, the fear like it sounds like it's so cliche, but the fear of missing out is a real thing. It's like when he calls me and he's like, "Yo, Apple's at 180, man. This thing looks like it's running." Just patience.
Yep.
Patience.
And the other part of it outside of FOMO, sometimes people buy at a high or at a bad price so they can have the actualization and realization of saying, hey, the stock market thing didn't work for me. Because the thing about becoming wealthy or generational wealth and all that stuff everybody talks about, there's a heavy ass responsibility that comes with that. So now if you buy at a good price, you're expected to do it again for your friends, yourself, and or your family. A lot of times people are sabotaging themselves. And that's why I always tell you guys, like, you're worthy of winning, of being healthy, of being happy, of having money. This is one of the easiest markets, but if you don't wait for the right price, and this is business 101. I don't care what the business is. If I put my money into it, for all those of you've been pitching me, if I put my dollar in, I want 10 back minimum. Guaranteed I want back 50. That's why I lean towards tech, because I know over 5 or 6 years, I'll get 50x. I mean, yeah, 50 on that money, right? If anything, $2 at the top, I at least want to buy minimum at 50%. Anything higher than that, you're gambling. Wait for the prices to come back to where they should be. And go watch every past episode if you want the blueprint to how to win in the market. And if I made you money, put yes in chat. $269.57 is the price for Microsoft. And listen to us, I'm begging you. The number of shares that you have is more important than a great price that you got in. Because if you got a great price and 10 shares, it will not matter. It will not matter. I promise you.
Yeah. No, CrowdStrike hit its low today. 150 was its low today. So I had my wife, shout out to my wife. She's watching. She texted me my notes from the table.
To the queen.
So I see my notes. I had Crowd at 210. If you got to 210, that was a number I liked. But then I just kept watching. I'm like, okay, well, let's just see how low this thing goes. I'm gonna go. All right, this is my number. I'm getting it right here. But it didn't fill. So
I want to talk about crypto. Before we talk about crypto, Microsoft buys Activision. What are 3 big impacts that's going to have for its stock?
Let's
do
it. I
always told you guys, the company with the biggest war chest is going to win every time. So just when a little boring Microsoft. So you have to understand, they're the number 1 enterprise software business in the world. Now, Call of Duty under their possession. Halo under their possession. So all my gamers, I want y'all to go crazy. Put y'all gamer tags in here, right? So now you have 2 of the best first-person shooters, and they've acquired King Games. So now you have mobile gaming,
Candy Crush,
Candy Crush, Halo. Now when you merge that with Game Pass, oh baby, it's over. So those same boring companies that, the ones that don't move and da-da-da. If you've invested in Microsoft, please put Microsoft in chat if you bought it and you've never lost sleep over it. So now, number 1 enterprise software, they're making a hard push in gaming. And then 3, we'll talk about it. They're going to be a significant player in the metaverse. Well, I'll say it now. The 2 big players on the consumer side are going to be Apple and Google. Microsoft and Facebook will do something on enterprise side and be good. Those are the 4, the same big 4 that have been dominating currently. So when you have that much money, and that's why I told you guys in 2020.
Hey, real quick, what about, would you throw Amazon in there?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll talk. Okay, go. Mm-mm. Keep going.
In terms of metaverse?
Yeah, infrastructure.
Short answer, no.
They're gonna cross over and do something else.
No.
All right, I'm gonna call you on the bat line.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos, though. Jeff Bezos is
brilliant.
Crazy.
Hold on, there's a couple things that, and you said them, but I want to make sure that because I wrote down 3, and this is important. So obviously, Microsoft, when they bought Activision, they now become the number 3, the third largest gaming company behind Tencent and Sony. Right? There was a key quote though, and this is important because you brought up Call of Duty, and that's a big title. If you look at the number 1 selling video games every year, it's always in the top 5, if not in the top 3 every single year. It doesn't matter which version comes out. But they said something very important. They said they're going to honor their existing Sony contracts and won't make Call of Duty exclusive right away.
Yes.
Key words right
away.
Which means that at some point down the line, Call of Duty will be an exclusive game for the Xbox or whatever gaming system that they have at the time. the other point that you spoke about was Game Pass, and we can't just breeze over Game Pass because like, oh, they're like, oh, what does that mean? So Game Pass is like their version of Netflix or like a Spotify in a situation where you get to be a part of a community and have the access to tons
a
of
library of games.
A library of gaming, right? A whole library of gaming. Here's the key thing though, right? They have over 25 million subscribers on Game Pass. 25 million.
More than Peloton.
Wait, $16 subscriptions. You know what that means every quarter or every month?
Homework for everybody. What's the churn rate on that business? You guys want to master investing? What's the churn rate? Because then you can know what the multiple is over 2 years. And they have not even put focus on Game Pass yet.
Game Pass is generating 400 million a month.
Call of Duty.
400 million a month.
Call of Duty is going to be big for the metaverse.
Facts.
Interactive. It's a perfect game. It's a perfect game for virtual reality type of feel. And I can see that. I can see that being one of the biggest games in the metaverse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And listen, I'm begging you, please put this in chat. Only invest in the mega empires. I'm telling you, if I'm not beating up on Kathy, I told you they was going to attack her. I feel bad for her. If that Doge, Shiba, all those were the ones, trust me, I would beat them heavy. Trust me. Gotta put your money in the. I know some are cheaper. They're cheap for a reason. They're cheap for a reason. You notice nobody leaked this information out. And then also because they had a bad culture of sexual harassment, it ruined the value. That's why consistency and everything is important. Because if they would have cleaned up that culture, they would have gotten a better deal. Activision would have. Now, and also if the deal doesn't go through, Google what the breakup fee if Activision messes this up because of the sexual harassment lawsuit. Usually the buyer has a breakup fee.
Yeah.
Hedge at all times.
They desperately needed something like this. Their stock was on the downside. So they desperately needed that. But yeah.
Big bank take little bank.
Every time. 69, the biggest acquisition, 69 billion.
We learned that in the basics. All right. Shout out to YouTube. Let's push to 13,000. Hit the like button.
We get 13,000. I'm more crazy on Cash App.
I think we had 12,700.
Yeah.
Mike just updated me on the number. Let's go. Let's run it up.
All right. Let's get into this conversation. Cryptocurrency. Talking about crashes. Everybody's panicking. Bitcoin on Saturday was going crazy this whole weekend. It actually was uptick today. But Bitcoin, I think it's in 30s, right?
Down to 33.4.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Bitcoin is currently at 36,000. Rebound a little bit. Ethereum is at 2,300. Binance Coin is at $362. Cardano is at $1.04. The notorious XRP, the people's favorite, is at 60 cents. Solana, which is extremely interesting. We've talked about Solana a lot. With NFTs, is at $88, and the infamous Dogecoin is at $13. Shout out to 19 Keys on the check-in. Shout out to my bro.
What up?
Shout out to my brother MC, the mortgage guy.
You understand?
What up?
And Polkadot is also at $17. So all right,
yeah.
Cryptocurrency. How do we feel about this? The current state of crypto? Yes,
I thought they were delevered. This was going to be the coin that takes over the central banks. And how the banking system works is that they run everything. That's why every time Josh is on, I refer to James Pierpont Morgan. He literally saved the country and bailed out the country himself. Then all the regulations came after that. The bank is, shout out to everybody in hedge funds, I'm not going to go crazy. They run the planet. They're not going to give up their power. So if we're looking for an edge in the market, you don't think that they are as well? They already have the edge. And write this down. Number 2, all assets compete against each other for capital. So in the 80s, it was oil, great. Gas, great. Real estate, great. Low inflation environment, tech stocks. I told you guys, if we go to 15% on inflation, tech gonna get better. So you have to be mindful. And every asset that you invest in, you have to look at what is going to give you the highest return with the lowest drawdown. This is why defense matters so much. And when he was bringing it up with Floyd, Same thing. I am technically a catastrophic investor. I want to buy at the deepest lows possible, because when you don't, it hurts really bad. And even if, let's say hypothetically, you're down 20% and you know it's going to go up, logically, you get it. Emotionally, it hurts to be down 20%. So when you're investing in these assets and it's at the high, once again, what was the high of Bitcoin last year? Once again, cut it in half. That should tell you your first entry into the market. If you bought in the 60s or high 50s, it's a huge mistake. Crypto will recover, but everyone is rebalancing where the market is going and what they're going to do to the capital, because everybody that's smart in investing is going to put their money that is going to be the safest first, and then the thing that gives them the highest reward. Be patient. I told you guys about Doge and where it was going to go. And 20,000 on Bitcoin doesn't sound crazy now, does it? On Saturdays, the market drops a little bit more. So if you want to buy in, buy there. But 20,000 on Bitcoin doesn't sound so damn crazy, does it? Be patient. Be patient. I thought it was going to 100 for the end of the year.
Yeah,
Troy Rashad getting in off market Mondays. He don't know.
Breaking news alert. Breaking news alert. Take a screenshot. 13,000 people on the check-in. This is officially the biggest episode in Market Monday's history.
With no guests.
No guests. And it just goes to prove that you could be anything in this world, even yourself. And no, I'm going somewhere with that.
That's real. I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Yeah, how we built, the platform is it's just really a miracle if you really think about it. When we built the platform where 13,000 people will be interested in hearing about investing on a Monday night. We never sold lifestyle. We never sold lifestyle at all. We never showed you Lamborghinis, Ferraris, anything like that. We never lied about anything that we weren't. We said from the beginning, who I was, who Troy was, who Ian was. That's been our fundamental principles. We never sold the flash. We started with iPhones. Even now to this day, we probably don't have the best technology set up. Still getting better.
My set's still trash. It wasn't for the color. We're gonna upgrade soon when Troy sent me that list though.
It was all done with just what some might call just plain vanilla information. With nothing. And it's like the people that's gonna rock with it, they're gonna rock with it. And the people that's not going to rock with it is not going to rock with it. We never did shock value or did things for clout. That's just something that we don't believe in. You could reach the top a lot faster going that way, but ultimately you got to live with yourself, and your fall is going to be a lot harder. So we chose to just be who we are. It was just regular people. To this day, we still are the same people, and once again, I think it's encouraging because a lot of times people get rewarded for nonsense, being who they're not, lying, clout chasing, doing all of that negativity. And, every now and then, the real will prevail. The real will always prevail. It's just a matter of, how long it takes. But that just goes, I just wanted to just put that message out there. You could be anybody you want in this world, even yourself. And we're just being ourselves.
Yeah. Platinum with no features. We went platinum with no features tonight, and that's ill. And it goes back to the same thing we said earlier. The reason why there's 13,000 or 13,200 now that Mike just texted us is that there's a value add, right? You came here, you got information. Not only did you execute on information, but you told somebody else. You said, yo, y'all got to come watch this. You got your families. There's somebody right now that's watching with their family, sitting down, watching this information, and they're changing their lives and they're changing their families' lives. But the ultimate thing why you kept coming back was because there's value. And so thank you for that. Yeah. And every time y'all show up, we guarantee that we're going to show up and give as much information and give as much value as we can. Anytime we learn something, especially myself, anytime I learn something, I have to give it back. I have to give information so I can go out and get more. So I'm just going to keep pouring myself. Shai going to do the same thing. Keep pouring everything that we have. Ian going to do the same thing. We greatly appreciate y'all. Platinum with no features on the streets.
Yeah, and for everybody watching, I love y'all dearly. We're going to get to the cash ups at the end of the show, but I'll say this too, to piggyback off what they were saying. Number one, run your race and be you. I'm going to be real, man. I've been doing this since 2008. That Jeezy Recession album was my soundtrack when I was getting on charts. I say it always. 5 years ago, I couldn't find 10 Black people that wanted to learn about investing. I'm proud of y'all for being here. Number two, always be yourself. That's why I'll let you, even when I'm in a bad mood, I'll let you see it. Because then you get to see every part of me. Then you get to decide if you trust. Number three, please help the most. If y'all are here, let's be real. If these prices didn't work, y'all wouldn't be here. A couple that tried, Diddy invented the remix, not y'all. Y'all try it. Mastery of craft. And there's a lot. And I believe, like, Troy taught me to be nicer. Shawty, like, yo, network more. Dom, shout out to you. Like, get more sleep. Go out, show your face. You know what I mean? Like, but once you master something and you're able to help other people, that is the foundation of every other business on earth. Focus on that, not the glitz, not the glamour. If you want the core of why this works, it's consistency in doing it through death, through heartbreak, through arguments, whether we want it to be here or not, through sickness, right? And then also make sure that the product works. I love y'all. And if I made you money, please put yes in chat. Drop them cash out. We're going to get to it.
Why said real tears right
mighty,
now.
mighty.
Real
8
tears.
o'clock on
Red
Mondays.
Panda, go crazy in chat, please.
8 o'clock on Mondays, that's ours. 8 o'clock on Tuesdays, that's ours. Don't go against that.
It always has been.
Don't go against that. It's
It always has been.
extremely. It'll be extremely unwise decision to stand on the train track.
And even with that, I've since the Negan episode, right? Classic should have went triple. I've even learned with competition. If we focus on helping the most, there really is no competition. Even last week I was calm. P was like, "Yo, bro, you calm as hell." I'm like, I meditated and I focused on what mattered, helping the people win the most. You can't take that away.
That's it, man.
Don't go against
people can.
If you're gonna duplicate something, like, I mean, you can't duplicate it, but like if you're gonna add value, I'm not mad at you adding value. Just do it in your way. That's all.
Very important.
Do it your way.
Let's talk about this.
Hold on, we're gonna do Ethereum though.
Ethereum?
We still investing in that.
So
yes.
I'm
just saying because a lot of people like, should we invest? I like Ethereum, and I wish I had my other chart, but I like Ethereum at like I think 1870 was my number for Ethereum to get back in. Bitcoin, I thought it would get down to 32 today. It didn't. We'll see what happens over the next few hours. That's one of those things. And that, you like it at 29?
This is your conscience. Shout out to Jimmy Fox. 20,000. What y'all need to load up at?
20,000 at Bitcoin. Okay. You heard it. You heard it here from Ian.
Ian, you saying 20?
Ian says 20,000 for Bitcoin.
Okay. And they're gonna say, I don't know. Great. You're right. I don't. But when that shit hit, let's say 21,000 to be safe.
21. All right.
21,000 for Bitcoin.
I'm tapering. So if you're saying 20, I had it at. I thought
we need to get Mike Novogratz back on. Let's see what he say.
Definitely. Mike said 28. He said 28.
Mike Novogratz?
Yeah.
Ian said 28. We being real. Mike, clip it up and run it back for next week. Well, nobody's saying 28 for me. Keep it 1,000. Shout out Mike. He better than me, richer than me. But my price is my price.
I said what I said, fool.
My name is my name. This is for entertainment value. Shout out to UTA family. I see you. Ally, we're good. This is just part of my comedic act. This is my little angry black man segment. Keep it going. Let's run this up. Let's get to 14,000.
Let's do it.
Bitcoin's here to stay.
Yeah.
Ethereum's here to stay.
We're still investing in that. And we spoke about this. I guess we should share with everybody else when we were watching Vitalik, and they were asking him, I forget it was a clip. They were asking him, what is something that can compete with Ethereum?
Vitalik is Ethereum.
Is the owner. Well, the creator
of Ethereum.
And he said there was
PayPal Mafia.
There was two coins. It was interesting because this was one of the coins that I had studied in 2017. The first one he said was Binance Coin. Just because they are the platform, they're the number one crypto platform to buy and trade crypto. That was number one. That was obvious. But the second one he said was Tron. And that was like kind of a surprise. I haven't heard anybody talk about Tron. And there was like
Panda.
Well, they know I was.
Yeah, we've been on Tron.
Like, I was like studying this
that was the first
months.
That was 2016.
Like 2017. Yeah, because I was like, I called these dudes. They were in Asia, and I'm like, I gotta come home. I gotta tell you about something. But I was interested, and the reason why was because Tron was one of those coins. They had the gaming mindset where it was like, we're gonna tokenize gaming, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. This could work. But it's interesting that he said that that's one of those coins that can compete with Ethereum long term. So just a little.
Justin Sun, the creator of Tron, this is the guy that paid $1 million to have lunch with Warren Buffett.
Yeah, fact.
He's a very quirky guy, but we was on Tron in 2017.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
And be mindful of what's happening with the CEO of Binance Coin. Go do your Googles about a couple of issues he could face, and if he can remain dominant. And shout out to everybody in Crypto Club. We can give you the price of crown for a minute.
Can he remain unmissing? Will be key.
Coinbase.
Shout out him 500 on the check-in. I see people saying in the chat.
Oh, him 500 on the check-in. Shout out to Marcus. Coinbase. Wow.
Nice put. That was a nice put. Shout out to Coinbase. Nice put.
Fell and it's falling.
Hey, real quick, let me just do the earnings report while we here, while we got this little brief intermission. Real quick. So it's a big week, obviously, for the mega cap companies. Tomorrow, Microsoft will be reporting their earnings. American Express, 3M, GE will be reporting tomorrow. Wednesday, we got Tesla, Boeing, Lam Research, Intel. Saw some pretty interesting news about Intel. So interested to see how their quarter went. And then Thursday, we always circle the calendar when it's Apple earnings. Apple will be reporting. They are estimating, Wall Street is estimating that they will report a $118 billion quarter. It will be a record. It will break the record that they set the year before when they had $111 billion in the quarter. We all know that the December quarter is the strongest quarter for Apple. I think they were projecting that the iPhone sales are going to surpass what they estimate. I think they're saying that 80 million units were sold. I think the number might be closer to 84, 85. So we'll be interested to see those numbers. So Apple's reporting on Thursday. We got MasterCard, Visa, McDonald's, and Robinhood will be reporting on Thursday as well.
Shout out to Robinhood. Shout out to Robinhood.
Troy, what was the news on Intel? Did they plan their funeral or like what's going on? Slow singing, the flower bringing?
I think they figured out how to actually get out their chips a little bit faster. Remember, there was a bunch of delays happening.
But did you hear what the Intel CEO said about AMD?
What did he say?
Intel NVIDIA. He said that let me just make sure because this is a big platform, so I don't want to
get it right.
Yeah,
get it right.
Troy, you want to talk about something while I'm researching this?
For Intel, go play Who Won't Smoke. That's AMD, NVIDIA, TSM.
Yeah.
They're killing Intel. Great company. Yeah. Stock won't move. They're not in the top four.
Real quick, before you say that, interesting to do when we talk about these semis, pull up their charts. And you could actually do this on Yahoo Finance. Pull up their charts and have them compared at the same time. And you can see the progress and the depreciation. Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. Put them on the chart at the same time and just look at them and look at the actual trend that they both had.
Yeah,
you can see the timing of it.
2009, it was at $12.05. They're at $51 right now. Hardly a great return. AMD in 2015 was $161. Original stock club members in at anywhere from $12 to $16. It's at $116 right now. There's no comparison. Blew it out of the water.
So let me ask you this: the Intel CEO said AMD is in the rear view mirror, and never again will AMD be in the windshield. So they said they have blown past AMD, and they will only be looking back at AMD going forward. AMD is down 22% this month, and Intel I think is down like 2% this month.
Based on
it's actually fared a little better.
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing in our head. Based on
what?
Yeah.
After the launch, what did they launch?
And it's the current CEO that's been there for a while. Great, better executive than I. So no shade. But historically, let me go to my marketers and my brand managers, right? Any company that says they are a whatever killer, Jordan killer, McDonald's killer, Apple, that never manifests. Those that take those spots, they never declare it, they just do it.
Yeah. So on top of the production was the issue with Intel. They announced that they're actually building a plant, $20 billion plant in Ohio.
The production been an issue since 2003?
Yeah, it's still the issue. That's why I said the issue is still the issue. But we've seen that with a lot of these semiconductors. Like we talked about it very, very intensely about semiconductors actually trying to be produced here in the United States and building factories here. And we heard Joe Biden spoke about it the other day too. So Ian has his hand raised. Ian, go.
Learn to be kind. And 2000, the all-time high of Intel was $75.83. I graduated in 2000. High school. Shout out to everybody that know. Shout out to the class 2000. So since 2000, they've been having issues. It's not that hard. If my last greatest hit was in 2000, I am washed up. I'm washed up. Shout out to Dream Team. We was talking about it this weekend. Like one of the things the women judge. What have you done for me today or this month? Don't tell me that shit you did 3 years ago. I need hits today. Intel, I'm sorry. Love y'all. No way, no how. No way, no how. When? It went from 34 cents and what was this? 80, 86, 87, then a 75, got cut in half by more since 2000 and They range from 1979 to $29. Come on, anybody in business know that's a bad investment. Historically, has not had the leadership that they needed. The CEO is great, better executive than I. So y'all can't say to the shade. This company as a stock is no fucking good. It's not that hard. Buy Kobe, LeBron, D Wade, Jordan, Magic, Kareem. That's the entire game. Can you buy the top 5? You cannot turn a shitty D player that scored 12 points in JUCO and make him a star in the NBA. Same in the stock market. Why are we still going over this?
Yo,
Man.
why?
JUCO. Shout out to all the JUCO Americans out there. Troy, so you said that you're on a quest to have 1,000 shares of AMD. So obviously you're very, bullish on AMD.
Yes, sir.
So, why are you so bullish on AMD? Why do you like AMD over NVIDIA?
I don't like it over either. I like both of them.
Both at the same time.
Like I
like
them
with the stocks.
So are you invested in NVIDIA?
Yeah, I just said that. I did it today.
Did you?
I bought more. Yo, thanks for listening to me, man. Yeah, so I like both. We spoke about how I turned the AMD options contract. I exercised it and got the 500 shares, and so I had the 500, and so I'm halfway to 1,000 there. I said, all right, well,
but why? No, I got that.
Why did I?
But why? Why?
Yeah,
why are you?
Because
so
I'm big
bullish?
on semiconductors. So
why not SMH or?
I already have it.
But I understand that.
Yeah, so it goes back to my strategy of how I'm investing, right? And for those who are new to it, I like to create my table, right? And so my table stands on ETFs, right? So my ETFs are the legs, right? So SMH, XLK, QQQ, XLY, those are the legs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the companies that I'm investing in, this is something we spoke about too, Ian, are inside of those, but I'm having individual positions as well on top of those tables. And so if I have all those, right, Apple's inside of XLK, right? But if I want to have an individual position like the 1,000 shares, I'll invest in it. So that goes on top of my table. I had AMD, I got 500. That's on top of my table. Microsoft is now on top of my table. NVIDIA is now on top of my table. And so I'm investing in those. Some of them I put in the custodian account, custodial account for the kids. But I love semiconductors. Everybody knows that. I love them. We speak about them all the time. But I wanted to have those individual shares. And so that's why I did it.
And then if we're being honest, if you have the top 2 and you have the capital to withstand the drawdowns, you don't need exposure to the entire space. Please write this down, everybody. Invest in the top 2 in the space. Apple and Microsoft are not a hard pick, but it's like, man, if I can get KD and Jordan to play together in their prime, home run. And this applies to every business. The top people in real estate, top people in tech, top people in podcasting, top people in investing. I'm sure when y'all had y'all network call, ain't nothing but a few people that's really producing some results.
Shout out to the network.
Easy.
That's why I say everyone's an investor. If you give me capital, we do in partnership. Part of the reason they let me rant because I bring capital in. Let that capital dry up. Mic off, video off. You got to produce. You see you smiling. That's just true though, ain't it? You don't bring the bacon home, you get cut off. That's the rule of life. That's the rule of life. Please put in chat. Give me $1 and make 10. That's always the blueprint. Every business and for every investor, every business is the same. You are in a business. Once you get capital, can you multiply it? Even 3 and 5x is not enough anymore. You need undeniable competitive advantage. Please put that in chat. Undeniable competitive advantage. So if you have AMD and NVIDIA, you're safe. And if you have both in the top 2, so Visa and MasterCard for that, we told you about gaming, the top 2 to invest in, you're good. Invest in the top 5. You only, if you get the 4 or 5, you're good. But if you're looking at an individual space, get the top 2 and you're good. It's easy.
I didn't even realize we are running out of time. Let's go to get a couple questions.
Jan's got a plan. You there?
Janet.
Hey guys.
Hey,
how are you? What's up, Jan?
What's going on today? What's going on?
You was just watching. You was just like,
you was tuned in?
They're talking about me.
What's going on? Time flies when you're having fun. What's going on?
It's a great episode. I'm doing well. I'll make my updates really quick. I put another offer in on a house that did not get accepted. However, the numbers have to match up, and my offer was lower than listing price because the comps didn't support it. So one thing I'll say about all this is I'm learning a lot, and like everything is making sense. Like I have to make sure the 1% rule is reached and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm in study mode in a lot of different ways.
Proud of you.
So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Yeah, I don't know.
We're proud of you.
Thank
Very
you.
proud.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's get into some questions.
Yes,
Oh, I
please.
want to shout out the realtor that I met last week because he went crazy knowing that I am a part of EYLU, loves you guys, and he has a group chat called Earn Your Leisure. His name is Sam Albert from Rhode Island. He's a realtor, and I just want to shout him out because he showed me so much love.
Shout out,
Sam,
Sam.
what's
I
up,
appreciate
man?
you. If the numbers go up in the business, we need 5% on the back end, but we're gonna let you do this one for free.
Sam, stop playing.
Sam.
You had,
And take care of her.
Shout out to all the good people, man. My son had a game in the Bronx this Saturday, and a few people, one of the coaches, another one of the parents from the other team, they recognized me, and they said that they watch every Monday, tapped in. So that happens all the time. So shout out to everybody that always stops us in the streets, airports, games, all that. Shout out to all that. Always love. So yes, Janet, let's get into this.
Let's do it. Karoma, we are coming to you. Unmute yourself, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Yes,
Yeah,
how are
how you
you?
doing?
Good. How are you?
Good,
Great.
great.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, great. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay, so my question is, I was reading the book Market Wizards, and in there, James B. Rogers Jr., he speculated that eventually the US could face financial or economic collapse if our budget deficit situation is not addressed, because the budget deficit will worsen the trade deficit, which will place the dollar under extreme pressure, causing the dollar to quote unquote disappear. In there, he proposed ways to address the deficit problem by quote unquote doing everything we can to encourage saving and investment while doing everything to discourage consumption. His recommendations include to eliminate taxation of savings, the capital gain tax, and dual taxation of dividends, and to change our tax structure to utilize a value-added tax. Do you believe that implementing these recommendations would change our trajectory, or are we past the point of no return?
So first, before you say so, I want to say that was an excellent summary. That was like the cliff note. You don't even have to read the book now. It's like cliff notes right there.
Oh, shit, thank you.
Great job on the summary. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Are we past the point of no return? We're getting there for sure. One of the biggest issues that we face is that we don't produce enough goods and services. And I've said it before, it's been incentivized because of the low inflation environment that we've been in the last 12 years. But most tech startups are not really innovating. It's just iterations of everything else. So now you see, when I was listening to Joe podcast, he was talking about like now in Instagram, they're going to let you do a subscription inside of Instagram. Okay, great. So now that knocks off OnlyFans, because technically only, as we talked about, you're not going to be able to take that company with that perception public. And Zuckerberg is one of the best at, hey, if I can't buy your ID, I'm just going to take it and try and eat away at your market share. So it's also a product too of, like I said, of us not producing enough actual tangible outside of Apple and Microsoft. What are the companies that really makes great stuff? Most of the stuff we get is coming from China. Walmart, Target, China. Go look at the back of the labels. Not many things are we producing here at a good price. And it's going to be, if we collapse, one of the reasons why. But there are a couple protective mechanisms that are in place to stop that from happening. And being on the petrodollar is one of them. So it'll be another maybe 30 years. But I do want you, and I've told everybody in Red Panda, go read Dalio's book cover to cover in 25 days. No excuses. You need to Google how long does the empire last? How many years? And see where we are in that cycle. And if we're overdue for a correction or to give up this number one spot. That was a great question. Great question.
That might have been one of the best questions I've ever heard.
For sure.
Yes. Ray Dalio wrote a great book.
Absolutely.
Legend in the game. Janet, another question?
Sure. Audrey, we are coming to you. Unmute yourself, please.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yes. How are you?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm feeling blessed and highly favored today. I'm going to get it off, but just let me get this out. I am a brand new earner as of today.
Welcome.
I have been following Your Leisure for since late 2020. A friend put me on, and I had no knowledge of the stock market then, so I missed that whole crazy time, but I've been following pretty astutely since then. I've gotten my whole game plan from you guys. I appreciate everything you guys have done. And I'm also a brand new entrant into the market officially as of today.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Fires in the chat for him.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So basically, my question is for somebody who just got in and someone who's not working with a lot of capital from month to month, what is your advice to a brand new investor who has about maybe $200 to $300 right now, every month to dollar cost average? What would be your dollar cost average strategy for someone in that position? And I was also wondering if quickly, maybe I could tell you the couple things I invested in and what you would recommend I dollar cost average in next.
Yeah, tell me the things that you're invested in, and I'll give you the strategy for dollar cost averaging.
Okay, so I invested in Apple,
Keep it.
AMD,
Keep it.
VTI,
Yep.
and I believe VOO.
Listen, that's my two tech too.
Oh no, I'm sorry. VUG instead of VOO.
That's an alternative I gave. So yeah, you got the Red Panda stimulus package. Great job, everybody. Put fire in chat for him. Put pandas in chat.
I got it from you guys directly.
Solid. That's solid, man.
Yeah, you're great.
Thank you. I appreciate
The
it.
only thing, if you want an ETF that is a little bit cheaper, you can do SPLG. That would be a consideration. And then it's currently at $51.71. If it goes back down to $49.47, you can buy some there and you'll be good. But literally do not change that strategy. The biggest mistake I see, because just because you don't have a lot of money now does not mean you will not later. And I'm telling you, a lot of you guys will end up getting money from family, friends. And here's what happens when a system works. Market Mondays works and the number goes up, so we continue to do it. Now, if we were losing subscribers every week, we probably wouldn't do it. So when you are winning in the market, continually put in that 200 to 300. I guarantee you, once you see it continue to work over 6 months, you're going to find money. Tip number 2, find a way to save 50% of your money from the job once you get the job or career that you want. Because the biggest thing that I see is like people don't put enough in, but then companies will find a way to get 50 to 80% of your money out of your hands. Hey, pay this bill on time so you can have good credit. Good credit with no equity means nothing. Because guess what? You have an 800 score, but you won't have the capital needed to even get finance for the house or business or building that you want. Equity over everything. But SPLG is one I would look into, but you're good. Those 4, you're good. And invest in those every month, and don't let anyone distract you from that.
Okay, and I have a question too. Again, I'm new, so
guidelines.
Oh, guidelines. Andre, real quick,
okay,
real quick.
So
no, Andre, I got a question. So you invested in all those things today?
Today, yes.
Oh, congrats.
Great job.
I just don't know. I'm confused because a lot of the prices I feel are out of my budget to invest in every month. Like when I go to my account, I don't know how to buy fractional shares or anything like that. So I'm just like, how do I make the most out of that every month?
I'll walk.
Yeah. Andre, you're in the right place, man. Janet, can you give him a schedule of when he can actually learn with people who are also beginning and learning how to invest, please?
Absolutely. We have Investing 101 on Wednesday. And I've bought fractional shares before, so I can help you with that. No problem.
And then drop me a cash up so I can help you. But yeah, do SPLG. And then I'm here to help you. It'll be for free.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No biggie. Like, I got
Andre,
you.
what's your cash app?
It's wait, you want me to just put it in chat or say it?
No, I'll say it out loud so we get you paid.
Okay.
And this is what I want you to do. When these cash ups come in, put 80% in. I'm going to ask in 2 months, and I'm going to ask to see. Y'all run it up for him. If I made y'all money, send him something so he can invest. But in 2 months, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you to the table.
All right,
bringing him back on.
It's pretty easy. Way, WAY, the number 2, pay, PAY, Dre, DRE.
Way to pay Dre.
Yes.
That's
Way to
fire.
pay Dre. I like that.
I need all of y'all to send him 100.
Man, thank y'all so much, man. Thank you for everything you
Off
guys
the
do.
rip.
Way up.
Way up.
And I'm gonna say it
All the
again.
way up.
Y'all quit taking my blueprint. Diddy invented the remix, not y'all. Got this lawyer on retainer.
Dre, tonight's going to be a hell of a night.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow,
gonna be a great night for you.
yeah, it's going. The numbers going to run up for you, man. So tomorrow, make sure, right, that same strategy you did today, apply it.
Yeah.
All right.
And Mike, clip this up for when they say we won't do enough for the culture and all that. Nikki, clip it, please. We gotta run this top. He probably gonna get 8,000 a night, easy. What other show you gonna learn, get the best prices on earth from me, and then get the money to invest? Just saying.
Probably not.
Not going to happen.
Probably not gonna happen.
Not going to happen.
Let's get like 1 or 2 more questions if we can, Janet.
All right, Frida. She's ready. Unmute herself.
Oh, she's already unmuted. Frida, what's up?
Hey, good evening. Can you hear me?
How are you?
Perfectly.
What's going on with you?
I'm good. So I have a mutual fund from a rollover IRA since 2006 when I got laid off. And I just want to know if I should go ahead and sell it because it's not really earning anything.
Which one is it?
It's AROIX.
And you got it in 06?
Yes.
Let me see.
It was, I had a 401k and when I got laid off, I rolled it over.
Do you know that?
AORIX?
Yeah.
American Century Investments?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's your average entry price into it? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, I would take profit on it now before it because I'm looking at it. We should get down to 1632. I'm assuming you probably got in at 1267.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I think it was around that.
Yeah, I would take profit on it now for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And what is your Cash App as well?
Frida,
Queen,
you
don't
there?
go quiet.
Oh, no, don't mute yourself now, Frida. It's your turn. Shine a light on her.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. It's F White 3922 4280.
3922. What's the other?
That's a lot of numbers.
4280.
We got to go play it in the lotto.
Those numbers mean something to me.
You
So
say it one more time.
F White 3922 4280.
Okay.
Yeah, I just sent it to you. Dre, I'll send it to you as well.
Yes. Janet.
Thanks, Frida.
One more
Thank you.
question. One more question, Janet.
All right. Victor, we are coming to you.
Victor,
Olin Depot.
Cruz. Perhaps.
shout out Oladipo.
Oh,
He about to make his return. Nah, Vic, no fridge breaks, bro. Can't do it. Not gonna be able to do it.
Congratulations. When you getting the soundboard?
I'm loading the sound effects now, bro. I keep leaving it here when we travel. I gotta bring it with us so I can store it.
Look at Shoddy face. It's gonna be okay, brother.
Yeah,
We
right.
got all sound effects in a minute. Boom, boom, boom.
How you guys doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, how are
Yes.
you?
Tiara,
Yes,
how you
Tiara.
doing? How you doing?
Doing good. Thank you guys for all that you do. I have 2 quick questions. So the first one is, y'all always recommend VO and VTI a lot,
Mhm.
but they got a lot of overlap and one is way more expensive than the other.
Mhm.
So could
If
it
I had to
just
pick one?
get the VTI, or like what's the thought in recommending 2 things with the same stocks in there is the first question.
Mhm.
And then the second question, if I can sneak it in there, is what would you say to like someone that has that hypothetically has an Apple call for March 2023, but Apple's like going down right now. So it makes me
Is this
Make-
hypothetical or is real? 'Cause
Hypothetical.
I
What's
heard
the what's the
heard
story?
you.
What's the strike number though?
175, March 2023.
You'll be good.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
Well,
Whoever that person is, I think will be okay.
Yeah. More than likely, you end up whoever this person is hypothetically bought you high.
Right, hypothetically.
Yeah, but you'll be fine. Hold it, you'll be good. As far as VO, VTI, okay. The composition of VTI is mostly what? Quiz time.
I know quiz time I'm gonna fail because I can't tell you what the things are inside of it.
Yeah, so the reason for the overlap is for hedging. So VTI, everyone put in chat, mostly gives you exposure to one particular sector. VOO is a broader composite of the entire market. So if tech is getting better, the ones that are in banking and other sectors, they won't get beat up as much. But what I want you guys to do is go look at VOO over the last 10 years, VTI, and see what the average drawdown is in the worst case scenario. So it is a safety net. So when people say, hey, too tech, too index is too weighted towards one side, I'm not like, no, if you go look at VOO, it offsets the tech exposure. So when we're getting beat up, those won't bleed down as much. And when tech takes off to the upside, the tech is going to give you the alpha. And then think of VOO and VTI as a hedging stop loss inside of the strategy. So when I created it, I wanted to be able to work in every environment, minus if we got the 15% inflation. Tech is going to rule our world for the next 200 years, and then they destroy Earth and we got to start over, right? But until then, you'll be good. VOO and VTI is the hedge to the tech section of the portfolio. And hypothetically, whoever's in that call, they'll be fine.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let them know that. Thank you guys.
Appreciate
Shout out
you.
to Three back there. That's what's up. I see that on the shelf.
Say it again.
I see little Wayne back there on the shelf
Weezy.
behind Shotty.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
Wheezy F baby and the
Well,
F is-
since you mentioned
Wheezy F baby and the F is for phenomenal.
Yeah, so the reason I put Wayne up there and the reason that I'm not wearing my assets over liability uniform today is because January 26, 2020, we lost Kobe Bryant and 9 other people in a helicopter crash. And so that day still sits with us. Obviously, we were doing something in Atlanta when we found out the news. But I put this on because I remember the last time he was in Staples Center, he was wearing this when he was watching the game. So I bought the sweatshirt in lieu of that, and also to support women's basketball because that was something that he was very passionate about. Obviously, his daughter was on that trajectory to be in that league, and obviously women's sports meant a lot to him. And I put Wayne up because Wayne was a super Kobe fan, and so I had to put him up, and then his shoes are up there as well. Just because my love for Kobe was unlike any other. I mean, Shotty used to argue all the time. I showed up to his house when the Lakers won the chip in 2010. He wouldn't open the door. His mom had to open the door to let me in so I could talk my trash. And she asked me to stop because you don't know how you're going to take it.
not well.
So, yeah.
What we saw with the Notre Dame argument.
That's every day, bro. Like that's all. That's every day. So yeah, man. And obviously Nip is another king of LA. So we had to put the
shout out Rance, everybody at 1500. Love y'all.
Rest in peace, all the families that were affected.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
One last gem, because I want to squeeze it in so they don't say we don't say it. Trading blueprint for 2022. Only 4 swing trades, only 4-day trades. I'm gonna say it again. Only 4 swing trades, only 4-day trades. Snipers, everybody in red panda. I know you wait, is it options and future? Yes. 4. If you have not mastered it, the liquidity in this environment is going to be different. First quarter is going to be different. No more easy wins. We get to see who actually can trade and invest.
Yeah, and I only have like 1 left for the year.
Got to make it your best one.
Make it work.
And once again, if y'all want us to open up this trading room for y'all and show y'all how to make 10 grand or 40 grand trading futures, let me get some pandas in chat. Thank y'all for an amazing ass episode. To get to 13,000, maybe we can do like 2 more cash apps and
Incredible.
Shotty, you got to bring the glasses back next week. Like
Yeah.
I may wear the same sweater,
Sweaters in.
We got to keep everything has to stay the same.
Well, there's also a valuable lesson. You always make more money in the drought. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper. That's his quote. And that's one of the reasons why I knew this was going to be a big episode, because the stock market is crashing. So it's a direct correlation with financial content and market crashes and recessions. Budgetnista told us that at the beginning of Corona.
People are panicked.
Yeah. So I say that to say there's opportunities in every crisis. You have to be positioned. And we are positioned, obviously. Yep. So whenever the stock market goes down, whatever there's an economic crisis, there's going to be a spike in viewership. So, just goes to show you.
Have to help. You have to help, and you have to be accurate. For those of you who want this proverbial spot, you can buy the whole mass investor brand if you want to. Let me offer. The work that comes with it is different, though, and you have to have people win. Don't ruin your careers and your legacy trying to jump out there too fast. I'm just telling you. And 4 swing trades, 4-day trades for the year, not in a day, for the entire year. I want to be clear because I saw it on YouTube. 4 of each, and you'll be good. And honestly, I'll say this too. if you guys focus and go watch the past episodes, I'll give you all the blueprints, all the targets for futures. Some of you should be making 20 to 60,000 in some of these down days. I love when the market's bleeding like this. It makes trade so easy. Shout out to the sniper, put snipers in, like, yo, honestly, 25 contracts, you can hit some easy targets. 160 ticks is an easy one. After 40 ticks to go in your favor, you're good. You can make some good money. Practice, man. Practice.
There you have it.
Yeah,
Practice
yeah.
makes perfect. Once again, big episode tomorrow for EYL. Shout out to Miss Diddy, LA's finest. Check that out at 8 o'clock on our YouTube and Spotify, Apple. And then we're back live again on Wednesday, 8 o'clock with Miss Business. We're going to be going over how to start and run a business. We're going to be answering questions. C Corp, LLC, EIN number, bookkeeping, all of that stuff. Very, very important information. So tune in for that. That's a big one. Yeah. And we got some stuff that we can't announce yet. But
man.
It's going to be
Janet,
big.
Cut my mic off.
It's going to be big.
We got book club too, Sunday.
Shout out to the book club on Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some big stuff that we got coming up soon. We'll let you guys know.
And can't get no hints or nothing.
Not yet. And
we ain't even talk about the Market Money Live when everything. I can't wait to tell y'all what you're gonna get when that come back. Oh my God.
Hey, D Malo, real quick.
Back on the road soon. We'll be back on the road soon.
Before we go, for all my Spanish speaking brothers and sisters, we have something very special that we are planning for you in the next couple of weeks. I know that we have been teaching about how to invest in the stock market, and we've been doing that in our language, which is English, but we will also be doing that now in Spanish. So be on the lookout for that in the next few weeks.
Oh, you shouldn't even have said that.
Yeah, cut his mic.
I should have cut my mic.
We ain't giving no more. And I'm gonna be real for all my entrepreneurs. Business secrets are meant to be kept inside of families and businesses.
You gotta announce it when it's time to announce it.
Yep.
Well, we're close.
We've all messed up. Yeah.
So we didn't forget about y'all. Number one thing that is we're going to teach as many people as we can, and we don't want to leave anybody out. And so that's part of one of the things that we've thought about for the past probably a year and a half. We've been trying to get it done, and we're right at that point. So be on the lookout for that. And before we go, Ian, I gotta give a shout out to our folks at Ally. So obviously, Red Panda family earners, y'all already know, man. If y'all looking for a great choice to bank or invest, Ally is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service, innovative financial solutions, and are relentlessly focused on doing it right for both customers and our communities. So get with Ally so you can save, invest, and spend on the things that matter the most to you. For everything we need, we're all better off with an Ally. Shout out to the folks over at Ally.
Yeah, and once again, shout out to everybody that tuned in. The biggest episode that we've had so far, 13,000 people.
Yeah, that's second next to Cuban, right?
He's second now.
He's second.
UTA, we get on the phone tomorrow. Yeah, Cliff, what we doing? We get right to it. Zoom, Shotty, let's get on. What we doing? Oh, baby. CAA, what we doing? Group call. Hey, and this without the jacket. Oh, baby.
Calendar invite. Yeah. Calendar invite.
Still.
And being solid and endorsing everybody else. Shout out Josh. Shout out Bono and Chamal. Like, hey, 13. Boy, I shouldn't have known that. Ooh.
Still.
God is good.
Another meeting.
Still.
And another meeting. Shout out to everybody. Help me, Chicago 219. Everybody here. Love y'all.
No slander. We didn't build our platform by trying to slander somebody else. We never speak on anybody else. That just goes against man code. First and foremost.
Y'all stealing my shit too. Wait till I put this pressure on y'all and show y'all how to hit 100. Okay. I'm telling this shit gonna be different. We're gonna see who can trade. We're gonna see. And watch. And I'll say it now. Watch me and Red Panda take a single mom. Put your name in chat if you're a single mom and watch me and Red Panda build an account for you and make you $100,000 in 1 year. I'm gonna put pressure on y'all. Watch.
The lights is on. The lights are on.
The best part is the part I care about the least. Watch. That's the entertainment part. UTA, what we doing? Let's go.
Yes. Soon reach.
Hey, and when Shotty, oh boy, Shotty threw a oop off the backboard to himself for one of these guests. I wish. Boy. When I say that's hey,
top secret.
You don't know.
No, top secret. No. Top.
We put them two together.
Top. Top secret.
You don't know who we know, man. You really don't.
That's top secret.
Relationships are worth more than money.
Yeah, that's a new series. You don't know who we know.
Yes.
That's a whole new
That's
series in
hard.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our new line of content will catch people by surprise.
Top secret.
I don't think anybody will see this one coming.
Shout out, drink. You coming? I'm
Nah.
telling you, like,
But they probably should have if they know us. If they know us, it makes sense.
they won't know. They don't know. Like,
Just when you think you know someone.
crossover.
Yeah, now a lot.
Cash apps. Put your cash apps in there. We're gonna throw some cash apps out there also. Put your cash apps in.
And I'm gonna be real. If they don't give you money and give you the interest, they don't know what they're talking about. Everybody trying to sell you on a lifestyle, and they don't have that lifestyle. Ask them if it's free and clear. And to be real, I talk like this so y'all know I'm free. Everybody want to play. I'm gonna be real, man, and I love it, man. Everybody else talking about shut all the membership subscriptions down. Let's see who survive. Keep it 1,000. Yeah, if they ain't helping you, let's do it. All the single moms, put your name in there so we can pick who we're gonna do, and we're gonna make 100 for you. And you keep all of it.
Oh, you know what we didn't shout out? Shout out to Eric.
Eric
Whitehead.
Oh, that's my guy.
Shout out to our guys
Shout out
over.
to E. Shout
Shout out to E, man.
Yeah,
We
shout out
ran
to
into him a few times.
Yeah.
Janet, can you take a screenshot of some of these cash apps for us and then send it over later?
Or you want to do
So-
Zoom and YouTube?
Both, yeah. Some on Zoom, some on YouTube.
And the next market, boy, 13 on our own. Man,
No features. Not
hey,
since
man.
not since J. Cole have we seen that. Platinum, no features.
There's strength and unity. Yeah.
Master
Yeah, let's run it
Plan.
up, man. Y'all know what to do now. This episode is obviously a classic, but it's also going to be on audio platforms. So make sure y'all go listen to that.
Yeah,
If you want to run it back
Spotify, Apple,
anywhere you find audio.
Spotify, Apple. Yes.
And to the engineer, when you master this audio, when I'm screaming, I'm sorry. I'll make sure I stop peeking. Okay.
You guys say that already?
Nah, that's okay.
So good.
That's
How
okay.
many cash apps do you guys want?
Just
want
take a
10.
screenshot.
All right.
We just divvy it up like that.
And market money's live. Oh, we go. I'm making rain.
Make it rain.
That did
I'll
happen.
make it rain.
It happened at the last one, but
I was handouts. It was
donations.
Market Mondays live. Invest Fest soon come. We haven't even spoken about that. We'll be announcing some information about
Oh
that.
man.
And wait till y'all see these Holy Trinity targets. I want to see
man.
who really can trade now.
Will there be another Market Mondays live in Houston?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Market Mondays live in Houston soon come. We'll probably be announcing those dates very, very soon. And then another special situation, probably,
Sprinkled around there.
Elon, we want to do Mars. What's up? What we doing? SpaceX. Let's go. I'm about to call in all my corporate
That's a
babies.
Zoom call.
Apple, what we doing?
Go to space.
Microsoft, what are we doing?
Trying to go to Mars. What's good with you?
Tea and crumpets with the Queen. We are breaking bread. The real break bread.
Shout out to Breaking Bread, though. Shout out to MG. Shout out to Ransom Gems. Yo, shout out to everybody that's been listening to all the shows on EYL Network. Shout out to all of y'all, to the whole roster.
And we got another one coming.
Yeah.
Tell you
I'm about to tap it. Don't get no clues.
Nah.
We gotta announce that.
That one's gonna be special.
Now that gotta get a red carpet rollout. We gotta get a red carpet rollout.
And with the number one pick.
Yeah, number one pick in the 2022 draft. Yes.
Yep. Let's go.
It only makes sense. All right, guys.
Antonio Brown could have been used by the Bucks.
AB got the hottest joint out in the streets right now.
I'm
from the pit, not the palace. That's the hottest song out right now. It's 1 minute and 10 seconds. Shout out to AB.
AB's everywhere.
Like
right
8
now.
bars. I'm from the pit, not the palace.
He's everywhere right now.
That is hard.
Mhm.
AB, man. Hold
Shout
your
out to
head. Kanye, hold your head.
Business owners,
Kanye everywhere
treat
right now.
your employees with respect and not like you own them. He is a grown man with millions.
Oh nah.
Did
They
he
put
break?
him in.
Yep.
Yo, they put him out. Yo,
go.
that's reckless. See, he was talking crazy about Zoom. That's what happened.
Zoom strikes
Zoom,
again.
listen, man, we got no problems with y'all. We understand y'all going through some things right now, but we're here working with you. He's back.
There you go. There you go.
Yo, every time you say something,
God
about
was
Zoom,
like,
bro,
hey, hold up, boy. Shout out to the NFL. And Tom, you know I love you. You been my dog, Midwest. Like, come on. God was like, hey, hold up, boy. We ain't got to where we got to get yet. So we can wrap up. Not my mistake.
By the way, Canada does not have Cash App.
Canada?
Canada?
They don't have.
Canada don't got a lot of things, man. Yeah, I got to work on your system out there.
They do have freedom, though.
Not really. They shutting down left and right. Their COVID restrictions is crazy right now.
Really strict.
They like strict.
Are they strict or are ours too loose?
They're strict. They're too strict. I don't want to live on that. I don't want to live on that.
Yeah.
Give me free.
Yeah, it's strict.
Yeah, they strict. You
shout out to Toronto though. We love y'all.
Can't even get in the country right now. It's
Yeah,
bugged out.
Shout out to Montreal too.
Speaking of COVID restrictions, you see UK just dropped everything.
There isn't one.
No mask.
They said they trust in their citizens to.
They said
carry themselves as they please.
Boris, he's under political pressure right now. He said it was a political move to appease the right wing, but regardless of what it was, it's the first country of like that stature to actually just drop every single COVID mandate possible.
They said we're done.
They said it's over. It's over. Don't even worry about it.
Hey, it's gonna be tough. Def Jam, talk to you soon. Murder Beats, let's talk. See you soon. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Yo, man.
Drought is coming. Drought. All
Red
right,
Pen
guys.
up. Let's go. Stockholm call we're gonna do right after. It's gonna be 10 minutes.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Love is love.
Peace.